Oh, oh, okay. They're up in Iowa or something. Oh, hold times. Yep. Oh my goodness, we were wondering if you could go up.
It's all about making an entrance, but I was working.
I know, very. Justin, you about ready to go? We got about 30 seconds. Are we on? Hello? I think today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. We're here in council chambers for the hearing examiner hearings. We are now being called to order. Before we start the hearings proper, I'm going to advise a little bit about our process. Our process is a little bit different than that followed in other jurisdictions. In our process, the clerk will read the introduction of the case and then swear in anyone who is testifying. City staff will testify regarding compliance with public notice. The applicant goes first and is required to present an entire case under the city regulations. The city staff will go second and present their case as well. Public comment is next. Once it's closed, it will not be reopened, so if you are here for public comment, please make sure that your comments are comprehensive. Following the closure of public comment, the applicant will respond to questions and make any final comments, and the staff will do the same, and the hearing is concluded. If you have a cell phone with you today, please turn it off or silence it, and take any cell phone conversations outside the room if possible. If you wish to have private conversations, please move away from the speaker's lectern so we do not accidentally record your conversation. They will become public record if recorded. Please come to the microphone if you have comments so we can properly record your testimony. All testimony must be under oath. Members of the public are requested to go to the microphone, which is on the podium at my left, your right. It has the same video and audio capability as the other microphone and podium. And anyone who provides testimony other than the applicant and staff is requested to fill out a public participation card so we can properly spell your name. If you wish a copy of the hearing examiner recommendation or order, as the case may be, please provide your email contact information, but please also be aware that if you do provide your email, it becomes a public record at that time. With these preliminary comments, I'm going to turn it over to our very able clerk to call the first case. Thank you.
Case number VAC 23-000006, address 5710 Driftwood Parkway, applicant Windward Construction. The owner requests to vacate approximately 312 square foot of canal right-of-way and all underlying easements, and approximately 480 square feet of platted easements associated with the west property line of 5710 Driftwood Parkway. The site has about 80 feet of frontage on Driftwood Canal. A small strip of unexcavated canal right-of-way exists between the west property line and the seawall. The owners wish to extend the new property line to the edge of the seawall. Any persons giving testimony today, if you are able, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Heller.
Good morning, Justin Heller, Senior Planner with Cape Coral Planning Department. I just wanted to state for the record that this case was noticed with a sign placed on the property. Mailings went out to all properties within 500 feet, and an ad was run in the local newspaper 10 days prior.
I will find the proper notice was given. Thank you.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning again. Brian Hugg, Windward Construction. As you are aware, this is something we do quite a bit. There is a small strip of property on the back side of this house that has never been excavated. We'd like to extend the property line out to the existing seawall. During the analysis, kind of reading from staff's notes, the 4 criteria for this that we understand are whether the plat, easement, or right-of-way are required by the city for any future transportation. They are not. Whether the required easements are necessary to accommodate the vacation of any plat, easement, or right-of-way. No easements are needed. If alternate routes are required or available that do not create adverse impacts to the surrounding areas. This vacation does not include a request to vacate either an alley or street right-of-way, so this is not applicable. If the closure of a right-of-way negatively affects the areas utilized for vehicles to turn around and exit an area, and again, as this vacation does not include a request to vacate either an alley or street, this is also not applicable. And whether or not the local utility providers have given consent, all 3 utility providers have provided letters of no objection for the vacation.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Do you wish to incorporate the staff report into your presentation today?
As always, yes, we do.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Mr. Heller, thank you.
Good morning again, Justin Heller, Senior Planner with the Cape Coral Planning Division. This is a vacation of plat of some canal right-of-way, 312 square feet. They're also vacating 480 square feet of platted easements associated with the west property line of lots 22 to 23, block 15, and the property address is 5710 Driftwood Parkway. The site's about 10,000 square feet. It has single-family future land use with single-family residential zoning, about 80 feet of frontage on the Driftwood Canal. There's a small strip of unexcavated canal right-of-way along the west property line, and they wish to extend the property line out to that edge of the seawall. Here's a current aerial showing the subject property. And here is our sketch of the right-of-way, the strip of right-of-way to be vacated. We analyze this under section 3.4.5B of our Land Development Code. First standard, whether the easements are required by the city for any future transportation access, water management, or public utility purposes. We find that these easements are small, isolated, and have no future benefit for the city or the public. Standard 2, whether any required easements are necessary to accommodate the vacation of any plat, easement, or right-of-way. No new easements are needed. However, as a condition of approval, the city will retain easements sufficient for maintaining a continuous 6-foot wide PUE around the site, consistent with the sketch and legal descriptions provided by the applicant. Standard 3, if alternate routes are required or available that do not cause adverse impacts to the surrounding areas. We found this criteria is not applicable as this vacation does not include a request to vacate either an alley or street right away. Additionally, it will not affect the navigability or visibility of boaters on the canal. Standard 4, if the closure of a right-of-way negatively affects areas utilized for vehicles to turn around and exit the area. Again, this criterion is not applicable as this vacation does not include a request to vacate either an alley or street of way. Approval of this vacation will not result in the closure or partial closure of any right-of-way, including Driftwood Canal. Standard 5, whether the local utility providers have given consent to the vacation, and yes, all 3 utility providers have provided letters of no objection. Again, the LCEC requested continuous perimeter easement around the site, which the city will be retaining. In regards to our comprehensive plan, the request is consistent with policy 1.15, identifies R1 district as being consistent with single-family future land use classification. Additionally, policy 1.15A, as the site will be developed with a density less than the maximum 4.4 dwelling units per acre as allowed in the single-family future land use classification. Therefore, planning's recommendation is approval of the vacations, and we do have some conditions, which I will read into the record for you now. Condition 1, the vacation of 312 square feet of right-of-way and underlying easements shall be consistent with that shown in the sketch and accompanying legal description prepared by Ardura, dated August 23rd, 2022, entitled Subject Parcel as shown in Exhibit A. Condition 2, the vacation of 480 square feet of platted easements shall be consistent with that shown in the sketch and accompanying legal description prepared by Ardura, dated August 23rd, 2022, entitled PUE 15V, as shown in Exhibit B. Condition 3, the city shall retain a public utility and drainage easement with a minimum width of 6 feet around the perimeter of the expanded site, as shown in the sketch and accompanying legal description prepared by Ardura, dated August 23rd, 2022, entitled Subject Parcel PUE 15, as shown in Exhibit C. Condition 4, in the event utility facilities are present and are damaged within vacated area during construction, the owner shall be responsible for the cost of relocation and/or repair of said facilities. And lastly, the city shall record this resolution with the Office of Lee County Clerk of Court following the receipt of the recording fees from the petitioner. And that is all I have, and I'll stand by for any questions you may have.
Do you wish to incorporate the staff report into your presentation?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. I have no questions. This is a public hearing. Are there members of the public who wish to provide input or testimony? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the applicant. Sir, can we have you up, please? You've heard the testimony of city staff. Do you wish to incorporate that testimony into your presentation?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do you have any other testimony today?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Heller, I am assuming you have nothing else to contribute, but you never know.
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will recommend that the vacation go forward as requested by the applicant. I will attempt to get the recommendation out today. We are all acutely aware that time is money. And with those comments, I will go ahead and close the hearing at this time. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. All right. Madam Clerk, hearing number 2. Thank you.
I do.
Good morning, Mr. White.
Good morning, Madam Hearing Examiner. For the record, Patrick Carlton White, Senior Planner and DSD downstairs. At this point, I would like to acknowledge this case has been duly advertised. We have posted signs on the block, we have sent out mailings, and we've posted in the newspaper.
I will find the proper notice was given. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As the applicant on this case, I have a brief PowerPoint presentation for you.
Thank you.
I would ask to be recognized as an expert witness for my testimony on this case due to my experience on land use matters such as this and my credentials on file downstairs.
Downstairs with the clerk, I suspect.
Downstairs with the clerk.
It's okay. I will find you as an expert based upon your prior testimony regarding matters that are similar to those presented by this case today, and also based upon your CV, which is on record with the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. This case is VAC 2231. It is a city-initiated vacation of an alley located in block 4414. The properties along this block are addressed from 1817 to 1931 Chiquita Boulevard and 1806 to 1936 Southwest 15th Place. The alley is depicted here in blue. I'm seeing that blue is a little difficult to see. I'm going to go back to red for these. But you can, if you look closely, you can see that we've depicted the alley vacation in blue, and we've depicted a 500-foot notification area that was basically indicates the properties that we mailed to. It's a little easier to see here on the zoning map. Note the entire block is zoned commercial. Surrounding blocks are largely residential to the east, north, and west. To the south, we have some RML zoned land. The block's about 7.5 acres. 13 of the 20 are regular 2-lot platted sites. 12 sites are improved, with 11 of them are located on the east side of the block. There's significant assembly observed on the west side along Chiquita. A company has began assembling there. The alley right-of-way is requested to be vacated. However, the city will retain our underlying easements. The city is the petitioner is the applicant, which is the city. We have received our correspondence from our utility providers, and within your packet is a sketch and legal description of the proposed alley vacation. It is detailed in Exhibit A, which is displayed before you, depicting the alley. Again, we're retaining our easements. And staff analyzed this in accordance with the vacation regulations 3.4.5B1, finding that all sites have frontage on at least one street. The alley in its current condition is unimproved and not presently usable by motorists. It is not needed for access or deliveries, or such as for deliveries or any sort of garbage services. This vacation will eliminate an alley that is not needed, thus reducing any mandatory alley improvements should a site be developed or redeveloped. Each property owner will gain an additional 10 feet of depth on the back end of their property. This will also relieve the city of some long-term maintenance obligations. As previously mentioned, all the easements underlying the alley will be retained to protect existing utility facilities. With respect to item 2, the new easements are not needed. We're retaining our old underlying the proposed vacated alley. Item 3, staff found that the existing street network will function adequately for any motorists traveling to any property along this block. We do not need any alternative routes or access. Item 4, we found that eliminating the alley will not have a negative effect on the area. The alley is not being used, it's unpaved. Since this entire alley is proposed to be vacated, we need neither cross-access easement or cul-de-sac to provide any alternative accesses. And lastly, we found that all 3 utility providers did provide letters of no objection. The easements underlying the alley will be retained by the city to protect an existing CenturyLink and LCEC facilities. LCEC made a new request. They requested that a sketch appear as an exhibit, which is included in your packet as Exhibit B, that will depict the anticipated conversion of this right-of-way once it's vacated to private property that will basically be gained by each property owner. Basically, what will the lots look like post-vacation?
Do you know where they've added that requirement?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
There must have been something happen in some other case.
Presumably.
Thank you.
Thank you. Staff lastly looked at this with respect to the comprehensive plan, policy 1.15, table 1. The table in this policy does indicate that the commercial zoning of the subject block is consistent with the CP future land use classification. Staff's recommending approval with a number of conditions. The first, that this vacation of the alley right-of-way in block 4414, unit 63, Cape Coral subdivision shall be consistent with the legal description and accompanying sketch prepared by City of Cape Coral Public Works Department entitled Alley in Block 4414. That appears in Exhibit A. The condition 2 is that the city will retain all easements underlying the vacated alley right-of-way in Block 4414. Condition 3, a sketch showing the anticipated new configuration of each site in Block 4414 following the right-of-way vacation appears in Exhibit B as requested by LCEC. Condition 4, the city shall record this application with the Office of the Lee County Clerk of Court following approval of the vacation by the City Council. Staff is recommending approval. As you're aware, I'm pinch hitting this for another colleague, Mr. Struve. Mr. Struve indicated to me earlier, late last week, that he'd received 3 informational calls. Calls from people that were notified that just had questions, but neither supported nor opposed the proposed vacation. Lastly, this is just for the record, a depiction of Exhibit B, and I will stand by for any questions you might have.
Thank you, I have no questions. This is a public hearing. Are there members of the public who wish to provide input or testimony? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the applicant. Anything else, Mr. White?
No, Madam Hearing Examiner.
Okay, thank you very much. I will recommend that the requested vacation go forward. I will attempt to get the recommendation out as quickly as possible, and we are concluding that hearing at this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our next hearing date is Tuesday, August 8th, 2023, 9 a.m. here in council chambers. It is 9:20. We stand adjourned from the hearings of July 25th. Thank you, everyone.